Hello and welcome. This is Ajinkya, and today's video is going to be a little bit exciting, at least for me, because I have created a dialogue system plugin which allows you to have different conversation as well as choices, and choices would trigger events. So let's first of all get to see how easy it is to use this plugin. And so we are going to have two participants over here, NPC and the player, that is you, the player, single player. Okay, so both of them should have a dialogue component, which is this one. So this is basically dialogue participant. Okay, and over here there are a few properties. In future, over here I'm going to add a portrait and sound and all those other things, which are like going to be this initial stuff. Portrait would allow you to display the portrait in your dialogue. Okay, and similarly, your game character should also have this dialogue component. I'm going to call it dialogue participant. Okay. Additionally, NPC to be able to get highlighted or like show a tooltip about them, I have added another additional component called show prompt, which displays like a prompt above their head. Okay. The Another important thing about show dialog prompt is if you scroll down, you will get to see there are different highlighting available over here. So I already have created this outline. Ignore the sequencing. And then let's go glow. Okay. Yeah, we'll just call it glow for now. And or maybe outline. Okay, another thing is, since this has to show a prompt, which is like going to be a widget above the player, you should have created a tooltip widget. This is just a basic widget, has nothing. It's just a text. Okay, and I'm just going to close this. And now going back to the player. So NPC has dialog participant. This is an add-on component. Then player has the dialog participant, I mean dialog component. And additionally, this is a must for the player, initiate. So initiate dialog is how allows the player to interact with the world around it. And you will see it has some trace, distance, radius, all that stuff. Okay, and I think that's it. So what is this property, start dialog line? So initially, whenever whoever interacts with this NPC, it has to start a dialogue. So the dialogue lines would come from here. So I'm going to give one to the NPC. Player can skip because player is basically going to search for this NPC and pick up their dialogue participant and start this dialogue. Okay, but for fun we can just give it to, doesn't matter. Okay, what are these? I'll come to them because these are actually my custom made data tables, which can be found over here, data table, and dialogue lines, dialogue state change, player choices, okay, whatnot. So these are the three things. All right, so now let's start and let's see how it all works. Okay, so now if I press E, nothing is happening because I forgot one more thing. So whenever player presses E, that means I'm interacting, right? So your player must have an interact function. So in that case, okay, so on primary interact, this is on my player character. Okay, so whenever he interacts, I'm going to get the initiate dialog component, and there is a method on initiate dialog call interact. This should be called whenever you interact. Okay, compile and let's see, it didn't work. All right, so I'm highlighting and if I press E, I am displaying a message. Hello, that is from the customer. And hey there, how can I help you? Can you get me 3 apples? So let's say sure, or maybe sorry, I can't right now. Okay, now if I interact again, whole thing appear like repeats. But if I press sure, I'll get them all. Okay, let's see now what happens if I like interact again. So now the quest has started. This is actually not like a real quest, but events have triggered, and the events have conditions. So if I select, let's say I select just, so this gives me one apple. That is an event. Okay, I don't have all the apples here, 3 apples, right? And the third one. And now if I go here, so do you have everything I need? Yes, here you go. And that's it. So another event would be triggered. So what was happening was whenever you selected player choices, choice accept was calling uh, accept apple quest. So this quest got triggered, and whenever this accept apple quest got triggered, it checked in this dialog events what are the requirements. So player accept apple quest is going to directly get added to the facts store, which allows you to, whenever you interact next time again, only this line will be picked up. Okay, which is in progress, this one. Okay, do you get everything I need? That was what was coming. But did you notice it wasn't showing choice turn in apples unless and until I had all the 3 apples with me. So what was the requirement for this quest to be fulfilled? So okay, I'll just make it a little bit big. So if I go to player choices again, you will see, I'm just making this bigger. Okay, so this is what we spoke, right? Hello, hey there, how can I help you? Can you get me 3 apples? So I called choice accept. So choice accept, it went to choice accept. Choice accept says this one, and it started this accept apple quest. Okay. Uh, acknowledge was called from this one. So great. Let me know you when you have them. This was set by the NPC, but in behind the scene, accept apple quest triggered this event. So so accept apple quest. Uh, so facts to add. This line is just making sure that so this is one of the key items, like key. It is like a key, and so now whenever this is in progress, okay. Uh, now when I go back to, I mean, if I go back to the NPC again, it was picking up Apple in Apple Quest in progress, right? So if I go to in progress, okay, and uh, I had player choices and blah blah blah, like this line was getting picked up. So this player choices has some conditions. Okay, so the condition is player has to have these 3 states in it, and the way you get this 3 states is basically on each chest items. Whenever you had open chest item, a dialog state subsystem was adding a particular string to this facts array. So Apple one. So you'll notice each of this different chest is giving you a different okay, facts. I just search for facts. Apple one. This one was giving you Apple two, and this one was giving you Apple three. Okay. Now, how did the application know that you had all 3? Okay, let's play this again. So if I go here, select next, next. So now when I select sure, I'll get them all. The conditions are not started yet. Okay, it is just going to the, it is just setting the dialog component to this line, NPC line Apple Quest. Okay, it is just setting the dialog to that line. Okay, sure, I'll get them all. And when I, this is great. Let me know when you have them. Great. Let me know when you have them. Okay. Now NPC has acknowledged the acceptance. Okay. And now if I go back, okay. So I have already broadcasted an event. You could listen to those events. But now to be able to finish this quest, now if I go back, at this point, it is asking me, do you get everything I need? Okay, so let's see. Did you get everything I need? And this choices button is not being displayed. Okay, so it is actually behind the scene checking what all things it needs to display this button. To be able to display this button, the player has to have all these three conditions, which is it has to have this facts. I mean, it should have this condition should be there in his dialog state subsystem, and they get updated every time select this, open the chest item. Okay, now as soon as I select this, you'll see the button gets activated now because the conditions are met. And if I click on this now, the reward event was triggered. So this is how you would behind the scene would listen for those particular events and do something based on that. Okay, and how do you listen for those particular events is, for example, uh, mm, so my dialog state. Okay, so for example, you remember whenever we went here and we selected the accept order, right? So sure, I'll get them all. So the event which I was triggering was accept order, right? So the event was accept Apple quest. Okay, so let's just copy this event name. Okay, and what I want is every time, let's say the player accepts the I mean this that particular event is being broadcasted every time you click on anything on dialog, an event is triggered. So that event is actually on, I think it is on dialog participant, but yeah, it is on dialog. Yeah, dialog. Sorry, silly me. Dialog broadcast all events, so it is on dialog. So on dialog event, okay. So you will see I have also added this nice informative description what it is doing. So whenever this event is broadcasted, event name. Okay. So uh, the event which was triggered was this one, accept Apple Quest. Okay. So we are going to play this sound. Okay. And I mean this sound, compile success. All right. So in this case, in real world scenario, you would do something in behind, like you might have a quest system which would get triggered, which would look for certain things. Okay, blah blah blah. But now you get the idea, right? So these are all the events. Every time you click on any button in the dialog, an event is triggered. Okay. Similarly, so what are these? I'll come to them now. First, let's see now. Okay, now if I when I select the accept, it should play the sound. Okay, it played the sound. I'm not sure if my recorder got it, but so that's how it works. Now coming back to these tables, so these are all the tables which I created from miscellaneous data table, and you have to have this three data tables. Uh, Player choice, okay, then you have dialog line and dialog state change. So the dialog state change, I have renamed it to dialog events because I think that makes more sense. Player selects an event is triggered, so dialog event. Yeah, okay, you could call it whatever you want, but these are all my custom tables, and if you have any doubts how to use and how to connect and all them, I mean, of course, I'm going to share the plugin soon. Uh, but another thing is, how does my application know about these tables is inside the project settings. If you go scroll to a section called dialog settings, this is where you have to link them. Otherwise, the dialog system would not know about these dialogues. And another part you have to know, feed it is dialog widget. The dialog widget is very simple. For now, I've kept it inside the dialogues, but I think soon I'll move it to the plugins content because that is what it makes sense. So this is like a simple widget. Okay, and within this widget, if I go to the graph, class settings, class defaults, you should also have selected player choices. I keep forgetting how I assign all this. So dialog widget, you remember, right? We had this buttons over here. It's not the next button. Next button you can customize how you need, but the player choices. So the player choices widget is separate that you have to select because it is again customizable thing. I just search for dialog. Yeah, so player choice. And if I show you what is this player choice widget, it is nothing but just a button, simple button. That's it. And again, all this all connected by UMG and C++. And that's it from this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I think so that I've made a really easy to use dialog system, uh, and which of course sadly I was trying for graph, but it was really getting difficult. So I just stayed with the data tables. Okay, and that's it. So that's it from this video, and let me know if you want to know more about anything else. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Bye bye.